our yoga practice is going to include a segment about our face and neck actually. There's over 50 muscles in the face and the neck, and we don't want to ignore those. So we want to incorporate that into today's practice, and in doing so, we're going to be touching our face. So make sure your hands are super clean. If you just were petting your dog or, combing your own hair with your fingers or something, go ahead and pause the video and go wash your hands and make sure they're super clean. And we're actually going to be sitting on the mat at one point and doing a few poses and then doing some more face yoga. So if you want to have your little container of hand sanitizer so that you can actually keep them clean once during our practice, you can do that as well. Other than that, the only prop you might want to have, and this is optional, and that would be maybe have a mirror. If you want to have a mirror to look at your own face as you're making these face yoga poses, that'll help with the alignment and the setup so you can observe your face. Other than that, no poses on the knees, so you don't need a cushion for the knees today, and we'll get started. Our hand gesture today is called Hansi, and it represents inner joy. So bring the tips of your index finger to your thumb, as well as the middle and the ring finger. Leave the pinkies hanging out, both hands. Relax your elbows down. Close your eyes, and think of something that brings you inner joy, and put a smile on your face. And this is your first face yoga pose, just a natural smile. Don't overdo it. Don't raise your upper lip to show the upper gum line. Don't lower the lower lip to show the lower teeth. Try to keep your smile natural and try to think about your face having 0 wrinkles or creases with your smile. Resting face. Some of our wrinkles are created just because we use the same expressions over and over. And if our expressions include tension, then it's easy to see how we might form those wrinkles. Take one more breath cycle here with a resting face. And then open your eyes, wiggle out your hands. And we are going to go into our normal spinal warm-up. So I'm backing up so you can see me head to toe. Set up your mountain pose, tennis ball distance between the big toes, standing tall, stack everything up over the heels, knees, hips, shoulders, ears, shoulder blades into the back pockets, palms facing forward. Breathe. And now let's go into elongation, separating the vertebrae, making space, airing out the spine. Inhale, lift up as high as you can, and then float the hands down. Do that at your own pace. If you want, bend the knees into it, adding a little activation for lower body muscles, but really stretch high as you can, and those fingertips are up towards the ceiling. One more. And release, roll the shoulders back, going into standing cat and cow, the next 2 motions of our spine. Bend the knees, bend the hips, round your back, tucking the chin, hug a giant tree, exhale. And now inhale, reverse, pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. Again, go at your own pace. Rounding the back, standing cat, lifting the heart, standing cow. Exaggerate the motion. Keep that spine youthful, like you're a snake. Make lots of S curves here. One more. And then return, standing tall in mountain. Let's go to lateral flexion. We're going to do another lateral flexion in a moment. So we'll do a short one here. Both hands above your head. Separate your feet a tiny bit for stability. And then just start to tilt one side to the other. Lifting up the rib cage on one side, away from the hip bone, and then the other. Think about the lifting side, the stretching side. And return to center and release. Roll the shoulders back. And we'll finish off with rotation. Bring your hands in front. Keep your knees soft. Don't lock them out. Relax the shoulders down. Without moving the hips, just turn the rib cage and the shoulder girdle. Go at your own pace here. Feel your abdominal muscles tighten up as you rotate. Maybe you feel that contraction near your navel or belly button. One more each side. Center and release. All right, here's our additional lateral flexion. It's called a mini facelift. So send your left arm out at a 45-degree angle. Take your right hand up to the sky, and then bring your right fingertips down to your left temple. You can do this with your glasses on. I've got my glasses on. And just very, very small amount of pressure, as if you're trying to pull the corner of the eye slightly away towards your fingertips. The skin here is very thin, so we don't want to add a lot of pressure, or if you're going to massage the area, you want to keep it very light, feather light. Think of a feather pulling just the edge of the eye. And now add that lateral flexion, feeling the stretch across the top of the left shoulder. Take one more breath cycle. And release. Same thing, opposite side. Take your right arm out at a 45-degree angle, fingertips pointing down and away. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Bring those left fingertips down to the right temple. Very light pressure here, like a feather. And just very gently ease the corner of the eye back towards your fingers. Just a feather's pressure here. And then add the lateral flexion, tilting the head towards the left shoulder. One more breath cycle. And guide the head back to center, release, and roll those shoulders out. All right, so we are going to incorporate face yoga, but we're also going to have some regular poses today, so it's not all face yoga. So let's start with a 4-layer cake, and we're going to step over towards the right edge of our mat so that we have room to go into a wide stance using our left leg. We're going to set up our mountain with a V shape on our feet. So heels together, toes out, and this is a 4-layer cake, and all the poses will have this external rotation. So the toes are pointing out and the heels in, externally rotating through the hips and thighs. Start in mountain, palms facing forward, and our first layer is star pose. Keeping all the limbs straight, step wide with your left foot, and lift the arms, star pose. To come back, soften the knees, and then return to your V feet. Keep those knees soft when you draw it back so you don't tweak those joints. Second time, star, soft knees, return. One more time, star, soft knees, return. Adding on, we're going to add our goddess squat to that, adding a little activation for hips and thighs. Step wide, star. Bring your arms to cactus and slide down the wall, bending your knees. Slide it back to mountain, V feet. Second time, star. Cactus arms, slide down the wall. Bring it back together. One more time, star. Slide down the wall to goddess with cactus arms and return. We're going to add some lateral flexion next, staying in our goddess squat. So step wide, star. Cactus arms, slide down the wall. Stay here. Let your left hand relax and bring that right arm over the ear for lateral flexion, and then reach away to the opposite side, and now return to mountain. Second time, star. Cactus arms, slide down the wall. Left hand rests. Reach over with the right. Reach away with the right, and step it back together. One more time. Star. Cactus arms, slide down the wall, reach over, reach away, and return to mountain. All right, last layer on our cake, we're going to add a little pulsing to our squat, our goddess squat, and we're going to lift the left heel, activating a little bit more energy through the right leg and squeezing the calf muscle on the left. Star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, reach over, reach away, center up, both the hands are resting, lift your left heel, and think of the upwards motion. Think of the squeeze in the glutes to bring you up. 3, 2, 1, draw it together. Twice more. Star, cactus arms, goddess squat, left hand rests, reach over, reach away, center, lift the left heel, and pulsing upwards. 3, 2, 1, return. Last time, star, cactus arms, goddess squat, reach over, reach away, center, lift the left heel, pulsing upwards. 3, 2, 1, draw it together, and march it out. Release those muscles, step it over to the left side of your mat, and we'll do that same layer cake, 4-layer cake, on the opposite side. So set up your V feet, external rotation, shoulders back and down. Going into star 3 times. Step wide with the right foot, send those arms up, long limbs, soften the knees to return. Second time, star, soft knees return. Third time, star, soft knees return. Adding our goddess squat, Utkatasana, star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, and step back to mountain, V feet. Star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, step it together. One more time, star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, and step it together. Adding on, keeping our legs in goddess, we'll be adding lateral flexion. Star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, let your right hand rest. Reach over the ear and reach away and center up. Second time, star, cactus arms, slide down the wall. Right hand rests, reach over, reach away, and center, mountain. One more time, star, cactus arms, slide into goddess, reach over and away, and back to mountain. Last layer, this time the right heel is going to lift up, and we'll have that upwards pulsing motion. So think of it as a squeeze, lifting, all right? Star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, right hand rests, reach over and away, return to center, and now lift your right heel and pulse up. 3, 2, 1, step it together. Second time, star, cactus arms, goddess squat, right hand rests, reach over and away, come back to center, lift your right heel, pulse upwards. 3, 2, 1, a little squeeze through those gluteal muscles. Last time, star, cactus arms, slide down the wall, right hand rests, reach over and away, center, right heel up, and pulse. 3, 2, 1, together, and walk it out. Good work, my friends. I'm going to come closer to you, and we're going to go into some of our face yoga poses. So if you want to have that mirror handy, you can. We're going to start with one. We're not going to touch our face on this first one. This is kind of a warm-up for the face, just to get some circulation. It's called horse breath. So it's kind of like a raspberry, and a raspberry, you just kind of vibrate your lips going, okay, but we're going to do more than just the lips. That's great, that gets some circulation and stimulating in the muscles close to the mouth, but we want to try and vibrate the cheeks as well. And the way we do that is to take a huge deep breath and then do our raspberry and try to get all that air inside the cheek vibrating. Let me show you one, and then we'll do 5 together. So really sound like a horse. We'll do 5 times, and each time we're going to count down from 5 on our horse breath. So try and hold it for a count of 5. And then I'll say inhale, and that's the time to take the next breath. So inhale. 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 Last one. Inhale. And just shoulders out. All right, next one, we're gonna work the muscles around the eyes. And we're going to try to avoid lifting the eyebrows. So here's where you might want to look at your mirror. Once I show you what it looks like, I'm going to come even a tiny bit closer. And I'm going to take my glasses off so you can see my eyebrows. So we're going to do surprise eyes. Oh, by the way, I hope my monster eyeball bandage isn't scaring you. I had a Mohs procedure on my face the other day, but they got it all. That's the important thing. On our surprise eyes, we're going to try and make our eyes go big, but don't do this. Don't lift your eyebrows up. That can be really difficult to do. So try to do it without lifting the eyebrows. And if that's really hard, put one hand on your forehead to try to maintain the stillness of your eyebrows. And now just start with a level chin. And if you want, go ahead and look in your mirror. I'm just going to do this for a certain amount of time. So do it as many times in a row. I'm going to be counting to about 20. So you can do it at your speed, not too fast. And just start. Surprise eyes and then relax at your own pace. Halfway. Pause. Release your hand for a second. So why are we doing that, Bridget? That's crazy. We're trying to build the muscles around the eyes. So one of the reasons we start to get some sagging through the eyes is we depend on the forehead muscles and the eye muscles start to relax. So that's one way to really take the forehead muscles out of it and try to rebuild the muscles around the eyes. Let's do another one. Same thing, same position. And in this time, we're just going to be letting the eyeballs look up and down. And then we'll do it a third time, and the eyeballs will look right and left. Again, I'm just going to count to about 20 and go at your own pace. Keep those eyebrows absolutely still. And then you can pick a spot on the ceiling and the floor and just look up and down without moving your eyebrows. Here we go. Halfway. Release. Working those muscles around the eyes, just with that little eye motion there. We're going to do it one more time, and this time it's right and left. So once again, keep those eyebrows stationary, chin is level, shoulders relaxed. You have a little bit of contraction in the shoulder of the arm that's up, but that's okay. Relax the other one. And begin right and left. Halfway. And release. Get everything a shake. All right, let's go back to the muscles in the cheeks. So we start to get some sagging muscles in the cheeks as we age. And so let's try and activate those muscles by doing a pose called squirrel face. You can put your glasses back on for this one if you want. We're going to go into a squirrel face by puffing out the cheeks, but we don't want to puff out this lower area here. We want to focus on an upwards motion of the rosiness of our cheeks. So let's keep our knuckles on the lower part and go ahead and come into squirrel face, and I'm going to count down just from 10 this time, and then we'll release and we'll do it twice more after that. So take a big deep breath and make your squirrel puffy cheeks. Release. If you need to release earlier, it's okay. Don't go out of breath and turn blue. All right, put your knuckles in place. Make your squirrel face. Release. One more time, and then we're going to add a variation. Put your knuckles in place. Push those cheeks up with your squirrels. And release. All right, now imagine that your squirrel has just a nut in one cheek, and you're going to pass it back and forth from one cheek to the other. We'll only do this one twice, so we'll do it 10 times, relax, and then 10 times and relax. So knuckles in place. And if you go at a different pace than me, that's fine. Just swish that nut back and forth, and then when I say release, doesn't matter how many you got to, just go ahead and release. Make your squirrel face, and now pass it back and forth. Release. And that was a little harder. You're going to feel it wanting to come down into your chin. So try to push the air up in the cheek. We'll do it one more time. Knuckles in place. Make your squirrel face and then pass the nut back and forth. Release. Yeah, really think about pushing that nut up in the cheeks. All right, let's do something for the chin and this area at the top of the throat here. We're going to lift the chin up and we're just going to chew. So before I lift the chin, I'll just show you, just like you're chewing a piece of gum or something, or a piece of candy, and but the chin will be lifted to activate these muscles just under the chin and at the top of the neck. So shoulders relaxed. I'm going to count down from 10. You don't have to count. Just go ahead and when I say begin, lift your chin and start chewing. And then when I say release, come back to a normal position. All right, lift your chin and begin. Release. We'll do it twice more. Lift your chin and begin to chew. Release. One more time. Lift your chin and chew away. And release. Roll those shoulders back. Now we're going to do one where when we hold without the chewing, but we're going to put the lower lip on the upper lip. So before I lift my chin up, I'll show you what the lips look like. So you're pulling that chin forward and stretching out this skin underneath the chin. This time we're not going to chew, we're just going to hold it. So tilt your chin up, bring your lower lip on top of the upper lip and hold. And release. Roll the shoulders back. All right, this one I'm going to back up from you slightly because my arms are going to be forward. And we're going to do this one 3 times on each side with the arms stationary in front. And it's called a sideways kiss. So we're going to turn the chin towards the right, lift the chin up slightly and pucker. And we'll hold it for 5 seconds and then we'll switch to the other side. So arms forward, shoulders relaxed. Turn your face to the right, lift your chin up and pucker. Release. And hopefully you felt that on the muscle down the side of the neck. Turn your face to the left, lift the chin up and pucker. Release. Back to the right, chin up and pucker. Release. To the left, chin up and pucker. Release. Keep those shoulders relaxed, by the way. One more time each side, and then we'll add a variation. Turn to the right, chin up and pucker. Release. Turn to the left, chin up and pucker. Release. Relax your shoulders for a second. We're going to bring our hands back into that same position, but this time when our face turns to the right, the arms are going to go to the left. So we're contralateral motion there, opposite motion. Arms in front. Turn your face to the right, arms to the left, chin up and pucker. Release and switch. Face to the left, arms to the right, chin up and pucker. Release. Twice more each side. Turning to the right. Release. Turn to the left. Last time each side, turn to the right and turn to the left. Release. Shake it out. All right, going back to that eye area. Remember, delicate skin here, thinner skin. We want to do this with a feather-light touch. I'm going to take off my glasses for this one. If you want to have your mirror handy, you can. We're going to use both hands and do both eyes at the same time. But if you want to have your mirror and just try it with one hand first and then add the second hand, you can. So we're going to take our ring finger to the inner portion of the brow, and with feather-light touch, just trace the brow and then circle around under the eye back to your original spot. Go ahead and begin. If you want to look at yourself first, just feather-light touch, tracing. This is the type of massage you want to do around the eyes. You want it feather-light. And this is doing the same thing as if you were massaging with more pressure on another part of the body. But the skin here is so delicate that you don't want to use that same type of pressure. We still want to have massage here and do some drainage of lymphatic areas. But we want to be mindful of the delicate nature of the skin. Do one more circle, coming back to your original spot, and release your hands away from your face. We're going to do one more here, starting at the same point, but this time use your index fingers. And instead of circling up the brow, we're going to circle down the side of the nose and out to the hairline. There's a little lymphatic node back there. So we're draining through that canal. Go at your own pace here, feather-light touch. Think of a face massage being much different than any other massage you might do on your body where the skin is tougher. You have thick skin in other places. You have very thin skin here. So feather-light. And this should have a calming effect as well, the feather-light touch. Do one more. And release. Close your eyes for a moment and just feel that sensation of the fingertips just still lightly touching your face, stimulating circulation, draining through the lymphatic canals. Open your eyes. Let's do two more standing poses close, and then we'll sit down and do some regular yoga poses, and then come back to face yoga again. But let's do two more standing up here. This one is, again, for the neck, and we're going to have our chin up again, and we're not going to chew this time, but we are going to stick out the lower lip, so the lower lip's going to look like this, like you're pouting. Activating through these muscles in the lower part of the chin and under the chin. The chin will be up, and we're going to add some stroking motion down from the jaw down to the collarbone. We'll do it sometimes, certain amount of times. I'm not going to count them. I'll just let you go at your own pace, and when I say pause and release, we'll come back to this regular neutral position, and then we'll go back and we'll hold it for 10 seconds. All right, so start with the chin up and the lower lip out like a pout. Now bring your fingertips to the jawline, feather-light touch down to the collarbone. Keep going. Stimulating circulation here through these muscles that don't get a lot of massage. The area in the front of the neck. You may rub the back of your neck if you've got some soreness, but you probably don't spend a lot of time focusing on the front of the neck. Do one more. Come back to neutral. And just gently ease that kink out of the back of your neck there, since you had your head tilted up. That muscle and the muscles in the back of the neck were in compression there, so release them out a little bit. And now we're going to do that and pause and hold that with the fingertips at the collarbone for 10 seconds. So tilt the chin up, lower lip out, Go ahead and start at the jawline, draw down to the collarbone and hold. Release. Once again, release the muscles in the back of the neck. You can put your glasses back on, by the way. Our last pose here, standing up, is lion face. We've done this one before. It's an open mouth exhalation. Again, we want to open the eyes wide, but don't avoid doing this, lifting those eyebrows way up. We want to keep those eyebrows still. So again, when you do lion face, if you want, go ahead and put your hand on your head. If your glasses are in the way, you can leave them off. That's fine too. Relax the shoulder. We'll do lion face 3 times. Open mouth exhalation with the tongue sticking out and the eyes looking up. So I'll do it 1 time so you can see it and laugh at me. I start with the inhale. All right, that was a bonus one. If you did it with me, bonus. But we're going to do 3 more together. So keep those eyebrows stationary. Inhale, lion face. Release, second time, inhale, lion face, eyes up. Last one, inhale, lion face. And release. Good work, my friends. We are going to go to a seated position on our mat. So if you want, go ahead and bring your device down to a lower position on a stack of books or directly to the floor, and then have a seat on your mat with your legs extended forward. Move the fleshy part of your bottoms away from your sit bones, and let's just start with a forward fold here, and let's do it in a 3-step process so we avoid any tightness on our hamstrings. Inhale, lift the arms up, bend the knees, little tiny bend in the knees, and now fold down, reach towards your ankles or your shins, and now tilt your back like you're going into a cow stretch, tilting your bottoms up and your heart forward, and then try to straighten out the knees. Bow your head and relax into your forward fold. Take 1 more breath cycle. And walk your hands back towards your thighs. Come into an open angle fold. Open angle pose. Your V can be shallow or moderate or very wide. Move the fleshy part of your bottoms away from your sit bones again. And this time we're going to add a double rotation. So draw those hands forward, easing into the pose. Relax the elbows down and walk both hands over to the right leg. Keep those shoulders relaxed, elbows drawing down. Breathe. Reach your nose towards your toes and push that left sit bone down into the earth, deepening the stretch. We're going to add a second rotation here. Keep your right hand on the leg or on the mat, wherever it is, and then lift your left arm up to the sky, open through the side body. Put on your resting face. One more breath cycle. And release. Walk both hands over to your left leg. Hands can rest on the leg or straddle the leg, either one. Ease the chest and the heart towards the toes. Draw the elbows down. Push your right sit bone into the mat. Feel that deeper stretch. And we'll add the second rotation. Keeping your left hand either on the leg or on the earth. Send the right arm up to the sky, opening through the side body. Put on your resting face. And release that hand down. Walk both hands back to midline, and then lift the chest. We're going to go into a boat sequence here. So pick your knees up. Give them a hug. And I'm going to turn sideways to you. We're going to do a boat sequence twice. First time with the hands on the mat, and second time, if you want, challenging yourself, hands off the mat. I'm turning sideways to you so you can see the side view of the pose, but you can remain facing forward, whatever works for your environment. So bring your hands behind your body with the fingertips pointing towards your hips. Recline slightly and then pinch a pencil between your shoulder blades. I'm going to activate that external rotation. Pick up your right leg. Keep that pencil pinched, and we'll straighten the knee 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Release that foot. Pick up your left foot. Pinch your pencil again, and straighten the knee. 3, 2, 1. Release. Release from the pose for a second, and we'll do the hard one, both feet in just a second. Come back into it, hands on the mat, fingertips pointing towards your hips. Pinch your pencil, pick up both feet, straighten both knees. 3, 2, 1, and release. We are going to go into that same sequence a second time. Your option, you can keep the hands on the mat just like we did the first time, or you can put your hands off the mat. Don't bring them forward though, because that's going to lose your external rotation. So if you're picking up your hands, just let them float off to the side. Let's everyone start with the hands on the mat, just to come into position here. Find the balance on your sits bones. Pick up your right leg, pinch your pencil, and if you want, float the hands. And now straighten the knee 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Release and switch to your left foot. Pinch your pencil again and straighten. 3, 2, 1. Release. And we'll do the hard one. Again, if you did the first 2 with the one leg, with your hands off the mat, there's no shame if you want to put your hands on the mat for the hard one. That's okay. Listen to your body. Let's all start by lining it up with the hands on the mat, fingertips pointing towards your hips. Pick up both feet. Pinch your pencil first. If you want, lift your hands off the mat or keep them on the mat. And now straighten. 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug those knees. Good work, my friends. Let's do a lateral flexion here in mermaid sit. So go ahead and sit on your left hip, stack your knees, and stack your feet. Left hand is on the mat. Make sure it's not too close to your body like this, because then you're not going to be able to get a good support through that arm. You want to have some strong support, so have that arm angled away from the body. Spread your hand in a star shape. We're going to do mermaid flexion 3 times with the hips on the mat. So bear the weight strongly, pressing through the fingerprints and the heel of the palm of the left hand. Lift your right arm to the sky. Keep your hips on the mat and laterally flex. Bend the elbow and straighten. Bend the elbow and straighten. One more time. Bend the elbow and straighten. Relax that right arm for a moment. You can do it exactly the same, or you can add a progression of lifting the hips. Make sure your knees are not on the hard tile. I'm going to scoot back because I don't want to come onto my knees on the hard tile. I'm going to be on the cushion of my mat. Knees are stacked, feet are stacked. So this time, if you are going to lift your hips, you're not going to bend the elbow into your lateral flexion. You're going to lift the hips into your lateral flexion. So I just showed both options. You can do the bending, keeping the hips on the mat, or you can do the lifting. All right, so let's start together. Either one can take about the same amount of time, so we won't be faster or slower, no matter which version you're doing. Lift that right arm to the sky, and now either bend the elbow to keep the hips on the mat, or press and lift the hips to come into your mermaid lower. Second time, mermaid, and release. Third time, mermaid, and release. Go ahead and switch it over to the other side. Make sure your knees are on the mat. Stack your knees, stack your feet. Arm is at a slight angle away from the body. Your hand is making a big star shape. press the heel of the palm and the fingerprints into the mat. Lift your left arm up to the sky. First three, we keep the hip on the mat. We bend the elbow, coming into flexion, and then release. Bend the elbow for mermaid, and release one more time. Bend the elbow, and release. Release the arm for a moment, and we'll go into our second set of mermaids. Option exactly the same, or lifting the hips. You pick. Spread the hand wide. Really think about pressing in through the entire hand, not just through the heel of the palm, through the fingerprints as well. Left arm up, coming into mermaid. Either bend the elbow and flex, or lift the hips and flex. Release. Second time, mermaid, and release. Third time, mermaid, and release. Go ahead and extend those legs out, shake out the hands. I'm going to come closer to you, but first, because my hands have been on my mat and my feet were on my mat, I'm just going to quickly give some little hand sanitizer, because we are going to go back into a little bit of face yoga. I'm coming closer to you. We are going to go into some more eye face yoga. So you don't have to come closer. You might want your mirror, so grab your mirror. So we're going to take the glasses off if you're wearing them. And this is another one that builds up the muscles around the eyes, and specifically in the corners of the eyes where we get those little crow's feet. It's called double V. And you're going to take your peace fingers, place them on the inner and outer corners of your eyes. And then you're going to try to wink very small, like your lower lid is coming up, and see if you can feel it start to tremble. And I'm going to count you down from 10. Release. We'll do it twice more. Working on those muscles again. If you're not feeling the tremble at first, just keep doing it, and as the muscles get stronger, you're going to feel that little quiver. So place your peace fingers in place. A little wink with the lower eyelid coming up, and I'm counting you down. Release. One more time. Little wink. And release. All right, now we're going to go into the opposite eyelid fluttering. This is called flutter. We're going to place the index fingers like a bar underneath. And we're going to lift the eyes up and start to just flutter the upper eyes, like you've got something in your eye, and I'm counting down from 10 again. Release. We'll do it twice more. Place the bar underneath your eye. Look up and flutter. Release. One more time. Place the bar under your eyes. Look up and flutter. Get that speck of dust out of your eyeball. And release. All right, now we're going to take our single V, a single peace finger, doesn't matter which hand, and place it on the brow, the inside edge of the brow, and just press. And maybe a little spread, very tiny. So this is a point where we get tension, and we get that little number 11 between our brow. Those are the wrinkles that start to form there if we have too much tension. So this is just an acupressure pose here to relieve tension from that spot. Trying to get our face used to not making that tense face, that frowny face. One more breath cycle. And release that pressure. Feel that circulation that you stimulated. Now we're going to take the index finger and the thumb and we're going to pinch that spot right at the, I've got that band-aid in the way, so that might be hard on one side, but you're going to pinch like the inside edge of your eyebrow, and we're going to do it 11 times because we're trying to get rid of that number 11 between our brows. So we're counting down from 11. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now hold the pinch, and we're counting down 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Again, stimulating circulation in that spot. All right, let's change it to the center spot, our third eye chakra location. Take the index finger of either hand, and now you're right in the center between the brow, pressing on the center spot. You can close your eyes. Just add that pressure. Stationary finger to start. And now very, very small circular motion here. You're not moving the finger very far at all, just maybe 1 or 2 millimeters. Go the other direction, very, very small. And release. Moving on to the inside edge, or the sides of the bridge of the nose. And that's another spot where we form tension. So we're just going to add pressure without motion, just the pressure to release the face, coming into resting face here, no frowny faces. One more breath cycle. And release the pressure. Finishing off with a couple more massage points here, going to the temples, index fingers on the temples. Very feather-light touch here. Little circular motions if you like. And then switching directions on the circles. You can close your eyes. And then maybe going straight up and down. And then pause, release the fingers from that spot. Feel that sensation of your fingers still in place. Maybe you feel the fingers still in place at the bridge of your nose because we put a little bit more pressure there. Let's finish off with a massage of the jaw joint. So place your fingers in front of your ears and then open your mouth and find the spot where your jaw separates. Once you find it, put your fingers directly on top of that spot. And then close your mouth. And now once again, use those index fingers for a little massage. Again, we're just trying to release tension in the face, trying to get the face to have a habitual expression of relaxation instead of frowny faces or tension. Reverse the circles. And then add some straight up and down motion. And then release. All right, let's move to a different part of the face. These little lines that we have, our laugh lines or smile lines. All right, to get rid of those, don't stop laughing, don't stop smiling. But you can do some things in the muscles in that area to try to stimulate circulation and to enhance your own collagen production without going to some surgical procedure to do that. We are going to go into a little 2-finger massage of the smile lines. So just gently stroking down and up, right along those lines. If you're in an uncomfortable seated position, go ahead and sit on a pillow or find another comfortable position. This is just about the face here. And now take it to just the index fingers and tap up and down on those smile lines. Stimulating circulation. enhancing our collagen production. And progressing one more step, just like we did before with a little pinch, going upwards from the jaw up to the outside edges of the nostrils. Each step that we're taking here adds a little bit more stimulation. Do one more. And release the hands. Feel the warmth that you've generated in your face. We're going to do one more pose for the areas right along those laugh lines. And this is from the inside, using your tongue. Imagine your tongue is trying to iron out the lines from the inside out. So start by moving the tip of your tongue up to the top of the laugh line on the right side of your mouth, and just press the tongue back and forth like an iron at the top of the laugh line, and count down from 5. And then release. So it's not a very long position or your tongue will get tired. Now move over to the same spot on the left. And release. And now go back to the right, but go more towards the middle of that laugh line. And I'll actually do that count with my fingers here. Switch. And now we'll go towards the bottom of the laugh line, again using the inside of the tongue to iron it out. Go to the right side and begin. And switch. Now let's go back up to the top and do those same spots one more time. So top right, top left, middle right, middle left, bottom right, bottom left. And release, relax your tongue. All right, we are going to finish off our face yoga part with just a couple more acupressure points. So keep your glasses off for this one. We're just going to take the fingertips and sweep across the forehead. A feather-light touch again. Just sweep across the forehead. Releasing tension, relaxing the face. And now take the index fingers and sweep up from the brow up to the hairline. And then pause. We'll do one more face yoga, and then we'll finish lying on the mat with just a few more regular yoga poses. This is one more for the neck area. And this one also strengthens those muscles underneath the chin and jaw. So we're going to lift the chin up, and then you're going to take the tip of your tongue and tap the roof of your mouth. And we're going to do it for about 30 seconds. So chin up, and now start tapping. And feel the sensation underneath of these muscles being activated. Begin. Go kind of fast. And release. Go ahead and put your glasses back on if you took them off. And we're going to go back to our mats, or maybe you're still there. I'm going to go all the way back to my mat, lie down, and we'll do just a couple poses here, strength poses for the core, because we've been relaxing with our face yoga. So let's lie down and come into the pose called 100s. You can have your legs either in a bent leg configuration, or straight legs, or straight and pushed away. You're going to see me go through each of those 3, and I'm not going to call it out because I'm going to be counting our tapping motion with the arms. Palms face down. You've got a newspaper between your arm and your rib cage that you're trying to keep from falling, so your muscles are engaged, and you're tapping the surface of water. We'll be inhaling for a count of 5 and exhaling for a count of 5, And if you want a progression, your head is lifted off the mat, but keep an apple under your chin. Don't draw the chin into the chest. So if you want, you can start with me and the legs in the bent configuration, arms extended. Tighten up those arms against the newspaper. Lift your head if you want. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 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 Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release the head, relax, hug the knees, add a sway. All right, we've got time for maybe 2 more poses. One strength and one stretch. Let's go into rollover prep. Knees are bent again, arms are flat on the mat. Press the upper arms into the mat and lift your bottoms up and right back down. Just rock your bottoms up and down. Press those upper arms. This is called rollover prep, using the lower part of the abdominal muscles. If you want, you could straighten the legs out, or you can keep them bent. You can start to add more movement, bringing those hips up a little higher, or you can keep it small. This is a challenging pose. If you want to come into complete rollover, and then release. If you're doing a complete rollover, do 2 more, or continue rollover prep at your own pace. Last one if you're doing a complete rollover. And release. Hug the knees, full body stretch. And release. We're going to stretch the hips and then relax. We're going to supine cow face here. Cross your right leg over your left. Draw your knees towards you and place your hands on your left shin. Relax your shoulders down and hug those knees closer to you. Stretching the right hip here. Deep muscle, gluteus medius, piriformis. For a deeper stretch, you can place one hand on each shin and pull the legs downwards, or even crawl down towards the ankles or the tops of the feet. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Put on your resting face. One more breath cycle. Release, change, crossing your left thigh over the right. Place both hands on the right shin. Relax the shoulders. Hug the knees closer to you. You can stay here or use one hand on each leg to apply pressure downwards, either from the calf area or the ankle or the tops of the feet. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Resting face. One more breath cycle. Release, uncross your legs and come into relaxation. Knees can rest or you can extend the legs long. Palms can be open to the sky or you can rest your hands on your belly or your heart. Whatever is comfortable to you. Put your resting face on. Take 2 more breath cycles. And we're going to return to a seated pose. So you can do one sit up or you can roll to your side, push into the earth, and come back to a seated pose for our quote to finish our practice today. You can have your legs extended or sit in a cross-legged pose. My quote today is from an author named Jonathan Brooks, and he wrote, "Angels walk among us. Sometimes they are unseen and have wings, and sometimes they pant and lick our face." That would be the angels in my house, the three little angels that I have, Luke, Cammy, and Sparky. Bring your hands outside your hips. Inhale to the sky. Let your thumbs touch your mind, your spirit breath, and your body. The spirit in me honors the spirit in all of you. Namaste, my friends. I hope you enjoyed our face yoga practice. So remember, keep breathing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.